you can see over 100 feet into the water. It's so clear. And it's really a great experience to swim in this lake, you know, because you can just see, it's like looking into the sky almost. It's just blue that goes in just a little deeper blue as you look into it. And when you're swimming, the bubbles that come down from your hand look like little chrome balls. And it's just beautiful, and it changes, I think, it's 78 degrees year round or something like that, and it's over 1,000 feet deep. But anyway, so I had been staying there for a month or two in Panajachel, and I got to know some people and so forth and so on. But anyway, it was time for me to be coming back home. I'd run out of money and needed to get out of there. So anyway, two guests came down to stay at, George has these three little casitas, or little houses right next to the lake. And these two people came down to rent one of the houses for the weekend. So one of them was an El Salvadorian movie star named Baby Food.
Baby Face or Baby?
Baby Food, that was his name. And his girlfriend who was destitute down in Cozumel, her boyfriend left her, or they split up or whatever. And anyway, so he met her. She was a beautiful blonde gal. And so he went down to the house, and Nancy, that was her name, was stood up there, her and I talking in the parking lot. And we talked and we talked and we talked, and she's, Baby Food, Nancy, are you coming down here? He was getting a little impatient with her. And we must have talked for a couple of hours. She'd try to leave, and then another subject would come up, and we'd talk some more, and I think we were falling in love with each other pretty fast. So anyway, I said, well, how about coming back up to the States with me? I'm leaving tomorrow. She said, well, yes, but I feel obligated to Baby Food because he rescued me. So I said, well, I can take care of that. So anyway, all night long I just laid there with my adrenal glands going 100 miles an hour, making a plan. So I took the rotor out of the distributor on his engine, so his Thunderbird wasn't going to run, but it didn't damage it any, but it wouldn't start. And then I went down the next morning, daybreak, and to get Nancy, and Baby Food were in a canoe out on the lake. So I saw her backpack, it was all packed up and ready to go in the corner there, so I took her stuff and put it in the car. Now it was I had to walk down a flight of stairs, stone stairs like that, went down by the lake from the parking lot, and it was, I don't know, about from here to the garden, I guess. I had to walk, and it descended down, I don't know, maybe 30 feet or so. Maybe more than that, 50 feet probably. So I went up the stairs, put her stuff in my van, came back down. She was just getting in and out of the lake, and she'd been swimming in the lake, I guess, and shaking her hair out. And I walked over to her, and Baby Food's over there, and he just kind of wondering what I'm doing in his house. And I said, good morning, Nancy. I put my hand out to her, and she put her hand in mine, and I put her up on my shoulder in a fireman's carry, and Baby Food tried to pull her down off of me, and I just and anyway, he went and hid in the closet. So I jogged up the stairs with her on my back, kind of like Sam can do now, but I couldn't. But anyway, I put her in the car and said, well, let's go. She said, oh, okay. And we're going up the little single lane driveway to get up out of there, and then it's just like a dirt path or something into town, and then it goes out on the highway up there. And I got up to the top of the hill there and going along with her, and I said, how do you like being kidnapped? She says, well, so far so good. So I guess we're heading out. So then I went to Panajachel and stopped at the lady's house to get this shirt that was being made for me. And that's kind of made the story memorable. And we went chugging on up the hill. Now, this is a pretty high elevation, and so my Volkswagen van is only going about 15 miles an hour, the floorboard as fast as I could go. Meanwhile, Baby Food found that his car wouldn't run. And so he borrowed Bonifacio, the gardener, Bonifacio's bicycle to come into town on and call the police or something. So anyway, he fell off the bike and got himself all beat up. And so then when he got to the army post, he told him that I beat him up. But he just fell off his bicycle. I never touched him. But anyway, so pretty soon he sounded the alarm, and he got the police and the army and the sheriff and everybody in hot pursuit of my Volkswagen van chugging up the hill at 15 miles an hour. And so it just happened that we decided to stop in at the village of Nauwala, because I had a shirt being made there too. Meanwhile, when we went into that village, this whole parade of officials and army tanks and everything went roaring on by and missed it, trying to catch up to me, and I'd taken a turn off. And I think I stayed at that army village, that Indian village, for the night. And then the next day we spent in Chichicastenango at the market. And we were having so much fun together that we kind of forgot that we were doing something wrong. And we went into another archaeological site at Huehuetenango, I think it was, somewhere. But anyway, all of a sudden we were surrounded by the army. They're all pointing their guns at me. So they wanted to see our papers. They were in their guardhouse way too long, making plans. So anyway, they came out and told me they were taking us to the Sololá jail. That we just came from the Sololá. Anyway, it was a pretty long ride. But they didn't have a car or a vehicle to take me there. So they wanted to use my car to take me there. And I said, well, you guys, you want to keep going north, I'll pay for the gas, but if you want to go south, you're going to have to buy the gas. So anyway, they did. They stopped at every little village along the way and signed a promissory note for $1 worth of gas. Then they got me to the prison, and they'd already heard from Baby Food all they needed to know. And so they already had a dozen guys there with their rifles. They were just going to take me out back and shoot me. And once I figured out what was going on, I thought, uh-oh. So I just kind of went in my side and said inside myself and started saying some prayers. Oh God, I need help. And then it came to me that those Latin people really love to hear about romance. So I put on a real good show, and it wasn't really that fake, about how much I love this person and she loved me, and we, you know, and we didn't want to we never have to live without each other or something like this. But anyway, in Spanish, so I'm giving this really good, heartwarming story, and then they put their guns down. So, but I still had to spend a few days in jail in the Sololá prison, and